Hey, it's Mr. Wilson. First thing we're going to do is talk about how we're going to be shooting our video. Most of us are going to be using smartphones. First rule is never ever shoot video like this, which is called portrait mode, up and down. Never ever shoot video like this, ever, for any reason. Always shoot landscape, which is this, the wide view, okay? All video and film should be shot this way. Never ever shoot this way. And as a matter of fact, pictures should also be taken this way. If you think about a camera, this is how the camera's oriented. Every once in a while you can turn the camera like this, but normally you shoot like this. So even with pictures, oftentimes you should use them like this. If you take pictures like this, not a big deal, but never take video like this. Okay, so hopefully we have that. The next thing we're going to need is the highly recommended tripod. Let's take a look. Now this is the tripod that I recommended that you get. It's highly recommended. It will make it a lot easier for you to be shooting your videos. Not necessarily something you have to have, and we'll talk about how you can do it without a tripod, but let's take a look at how this works real quick. These legs of the tripod, really easy to open up. You'll probably want to release them all the way. Pull this out, and it's set up. If you want to get it a little bit higher, because most of our shots, at least in the beginning, we want to have eye level. So right here is where you crank up the neck. So neck can rise up. For me, this would be about a good level. For you, probably a little shorter, because we want it eye level. Next, this little plate comes off by pushing this with your thumb. This plate is what you're going to attach your TriPhone adapter to. Here are two different types of tripod adapters for phones. This is the one that I suggested you get. This one is a little bit cheaper, but it also obviously works. And they both have this thing on the bottom, which is what we're going to use to screw onto this. You might think you're going to want to screw it onto this way, but actually you're going to want to screw it on sideways. Once you've attached the phone holder to this plate, it just goes in this way and then snaps in, and you want to push this to the side to make it secure. Now this also has this feature. You don't want to use that right now. You're just going to want to keep it still. This tripod has tilt locks and pan locks, a little bit different than many. The arm of the tripod is actually the tilt lock. So if you turn it all the way to the left, it's really loose and you don't want it that way. You turn it all the way to the right and it locks it in place, and then we'd call it locked. But we don't want it that much either. We want it to have some tension, so when you tilt up and down, you can tilt it up and down fairly smoothly. This here is the pan lock. Pan is turning it to the left or right. To get a good tension, you want to turn it to the right so that you can turn it to the left or right, but it's not too loose. If you turn it all the way to the left, it's really easy to turn. We don't want it that way. We don't want it turned all the way to the right either, because then it will be too hard to turn. We want it so that it would just be nice, easy, smooth pan like that. Now to attach your phone to the tripod adapter, you'll want it turned this way, as a matter of fact, and you turn this knob to the left and right to loosen it. Just get it in there and then turn this again to the right. We should know righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, the mnemonic device. And then it's in there, nice and steady. So we find our camera icon and we go to video and we're ready to shoot. Now when you set it up this way, you're recording this way, which is using the good camera, which is what we're going to want to do normally, using the good camera, which is the back-facing camera. However, for some of the shots, if you're doing this alone, you don't have someone to work with, you're going to want to flip it, and you're going to be wanting to shoot this way, because then you're going to be able to get your own shots. You're going to be able to look at it yourself in the screen. So you can see I have this set up so it's taping using the front-facing camera. Again, that camera is not as good as the back-facing camera, but when we're shooting by ourselves on a tripod, it might be easier for us to use that camera so we can actually see what we're taping right here. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be shooting the 8 shots using this so we can gauge it by just looking at the screen here. So here I am, and I'm going to be shooting my 8 shots.